Now, a lot of people have been requesting something new to do in the game, and I think we can all agree that the usual sail to point A, pick up thing, and sail to point B is getting a little tedious for new players and veterans alike. Now, I worked on an idea in an older video not only to utilize a very popular game mode called Nightmare Mode, but also add an entirely new faction, alongside some other hugely requested features, and wound them all up into one juicy update. The video dropped at the wrong point, however, and didn't get the coverage it deserves, so for those who remember this, for those who do not know what Nightmare Mode is, it's something that's used in quite a lot of games. The Diablo franchise is where it is most popular. The idea is you have one character and one life. You can only steal loot from other ships, and if you sink, you have to delete your character and start again. And then the bragging rights come from which level you achieved in factions before you sank. As far as I know, no one has maxed out yet in one life. Now, although this can be fun, I agree it's not for everyone. So I think this can easily be streamlined and incorporated into the game world for the entire player base to enjoy. So here's the idea. When you log into Sea of Thieves, you are presented with a new game mode, Nightmare Mode. When you click on this game mode, you are sent directly to the character creation screen to make an alt character. When you load into the game, you find yourself at a dock in the Sea of the Damned. Why? More on this in a moment. When you set sail, you travel through a portal to the real world, where you are tasked with grabbing loot from various sources, and then traveling back through the portal with your loot to sell up. However, if you sink in the real world from enemy players or PvE, you have to re-roll a new character and start from scratch. This is the simplest way of explaining it. But wait, there's more. Why do you start in the Sea of the Damned? And why can you travel there with your loot, I hear you ask? Well, that's because this game mode introduces a new faction outside of the other factions that can only be accessed through this Nightmare Mode, the Dark Brethren.
Boom! New faction!
When starting Nightmare Mode, a Dark Brethren representative tasks you with a certain itinerary asking for specific types of loot within the Sea of Thieves. These bits of loot will help draw focus to forgotten additions added to the game. For example, they could send you to a shrine to retrieve loot, or send you to the Devil's Roar, or even send you on a quest to the Coral Fortress or the Shores of Gold.
Boom! Fix forgotten content!
Once the loot on the itinerary is found, the portal back to the Sea of the Damned opens up, and you can escape to safety to hand it all in. There is no gold to be had for a Nightmare character, however. You merely have reputation for this new faction that slowly builds as you hand in loot. Get to certain levels in this faction, and new items will unlock for your character and your ship. But if you sink, the reputation drops back down to 0 and you have to make a new character and start again. However, any cosmetics you acquired from the last play session will stay with you. You just have to level back up again to get past your previous goal to unlock stuff further. But here's where the nightmare of this mode comes into play. When a Nightmare Mode player is on the server, if another player ship falls in the vicinity of 2 or 3 squares on the map of a Nightmare Mode player, they are displayed on the player's ship with a unique icon. And if the player chooses to sink them when using the spyglass on their location, it displays what level they have acquired. And if they succeed in sinking them, the enemy ship drops a wanted map, which can be handed in to either the Reapers or Athena for a large amount of gold, which increases in value depending on the level the Nightmare player had acquired, essentially turning Nightmare Mode players into a chest of fortune. Furthermore, if a Nightmare Mode player is on the server, a wanted map is displayed at every outpost, telling the player their last known location. And where is this wanted map posted? The quest board, of course.
Boom! Fix the quest board!
The wanted maps themselves will come with their own list of commendations and cosmetics for ships and pirates for regular adventure mode players, to give people a reason to hunt the Nightmare Mode players. Nightmare Mode players can also team up with other Nightmare Mode players on bigger ship types. However, if that ship sinks, every player on that ship has to start from scratch. Now, I know what a few of you may be thinking. Why give Nightmare Mode players an easy way to escape back to the Sea of the Damned? Well, firstly, it's not easy. The portal only opens up once they have finished their quest, which means if they come under attack, they have to fight back. Running won't help, they won't get any reputation until that quest is finished, so they'll have no choice but to fight back. Disconnecting mid-battle to try and evade the battle will essentially be the same as sinking, which will reset your character back to 0 next time you log on. Now, in the perfect world, if the Sea of Thieves servers were stable and you didn't just keep on disconnecting for no reason whatsoever, this would be great. But hey, I can dream. And if they do run, they're likely going to have the entire server hunting them, so good luck. And if they manage to do the quest and go back through the portal, this will switch their servers, which means...
Boom! Alliance server cheesed fixed! Hell yeah!
Now that's a content update. A new way to play, a new enemy to hunt, a new faction, and I know some of you might be thinking, this sounds way too hard.
Well, that's why it's called Nightmare Mode! What are you, some sort of idiot?
Subscribe.
Apex Gaming PCs! Glorious PCs! Look at all these wonderful PCs! PCs for gaming, PCs for work, PCs for everything! Holiday discounts, monthly discounts, weekly discounts! Everything you ever need for PCs at Apex Gaming PC. Apex Gaming PC.